Joining us now, Congressman Beth Van Duyne from House Transportation. Congresswoman, what was your reaction when you heard the report that the White House is considering giving $450,000 apiece to each illegal immigrant who have been separated during the Trump White House? That's about a quarter of what Gold Star military families get.
I was appalled, just like I think pretty much every other American who's heard that. I mean, what kind of a message is that sending, that people who came here illegally, we are going to pay $450,000, which, as you mentioned, is more than Gold Star families, more than people who have had loved ones who have been fighting for this country get, more than people who have lost loved ones in 9/11 get. Think of that message that we're sending to those families, but also think about the message that we're sending to working families, working individuals about what this government thinks of their money. The fact that we are even having this conversation is insane. I mean, this policy is ridiculous. We wouldn't even be having this conversation except that it's an insane idea, but maniacs have basically taken over our government, and that's why we're being forced to even have this conversation, because Democrats will do nothing other than appease their radical left. And even if they don't have like an idea of going forward with this, the mere fact that they even threw out this suggestion is providing all sorts of marketing fodder for drug cartels and for human traffickers. Come on in, come over to the U.S. You'll get free housing, you'll get free education, you'll get free health care, borders are open. Oh, and guess what? You'll even have a chance to win $450,000 of American taxpayer money. It's destructive, it's dangerous, and it has to stop.
You know, it also is coming at a time when the Democrats in the White House were pushing for the IRS to track and monitor everybody's bank transactions. Senator Joe Manchin is opposed to that. That may not show up in the final bill. You know, to your point, Congresswoman, let's watch what happened when, Fox News' Peter Doocy tried to ask the president about this. The president ignored him. And watch Senator Blackburn pretty much agree with what you're saying. Watch this.
Mr. President, is it true that we're going to give $450,000 to border crossers who are separated?
This is per person. So if you've got 4 people in your family and there was a separation, you're talking about a payout. Now, 9/11 families, military families where they have a loved one who made that ultimate sacrifice, they're not getting this kind of payout. We would like to know what legal authority that he is using to have DHS, HHS, and the Department of Justice go negotiate these prepayments to these individuals that have broken the law at the southern border as they came into this country.
You know, what is the legal authority for this, and why 450,000? Why that number?
That's a great question. Why? How do they just pull that out of the hat? I mean, in Dallas alone, the average annual pay is a little over $60,000. Why is this all of a sudden $450,000? And by the way, that could be $1 million per family. We have no clue where that number is coming from. But I mean, I think you have seen the insanity of some of these policies and how dangerous and destructive they are. And it's quite obvious that the Democrats are trying to remake America in this image that they've created. But this image does not include working families, does not include law-abiding Americans, and really does not include American citizens. It is Americans last, and whoever the Democrats want first, and it's dangerous.
You know, already, Democrats, the media, a lot of people they forget this point, that the U.S. naturalizes hundreds of thousands of immigrants every year. This is a pro-immigrant country. We naturalize about 900,000 immigrants become naturalized citizens every year, and it grows double digits year to year. Yeah. So when the border is abused, when immigrants become naturalized citizens, see people cutting in line and violating the law, breaking the law, just walking across the border, which you're not allowed to do in any other country in any other continent in the world, people get really mad about that.
People who have waited in line for years, people who have family members that are coming over, CEOs that are trying to hire people. I mean, you've got people who are doing it legally, that are going through all the right steps, and it takes time to do it. And then what they're saying is it's the exact opposite. If they did it illegally, that would have been the better way to do it. That is the wrong message that we're sending.
And it gives, you're right, a green light and to the cartels who really are controlling big sections of the border. At least they're
Yeah.
trying to. All right, Congressman Beth Van Duyne, it's good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Good to
I'm
see you too,
Elizabeth
Liz.
McDonald. You've been watching the Evening Edit.